There we go. People should be able to hear me now and see me. A little bit of delay there. Oh, I forgot to put the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on there. It's fine. Because I switched over to the other console, everything's a bit slower. So I was waiting for the game to load literally 5 minutes before we started streaming. Because on the Series X it loads pretty quickly. On the Xbox One, it takes about, I don't know, 5 minutes to load up everything. And even then, it's like some chunks don't load immediately. So it's getting to like 30 seconds late, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. I'm like, just load the damn game. It loaded within like 2 seconds to spare. I'm like, oh, yes. Then I had to wait for the chunks to load in. So that's why I'm starting a little bit later than usual. Anyway, how's everyone? You can see invent on my shirt. That's kind of it's kind of prophetic. It's actually supposed to say inventory. There you go. Because I've got the green screen on, obviously the green on my top disappears. Then I just got invent up underneath my chin. But yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? Let me just go bring up the chat so I can see your beautiful faces. EP's like, excuses. It's like, right, let me tell you, EP, why I'm on the Xbox One today and not the Series X that I've been using for like a year or so. The Xbox died. So the Xbox One died, I should say. No, not one, sorry. The Series X died. So I was just sitting here. It was last week, I think, about Sunday. It was Sunday. I was working on a project with my sister, an unrelated project. And we were just working on that. I was in the middle of a Minecraft stream at the time. So I kind of like, I put it on pause whilst I was helping my sister out. And then, as I was working it on, I was like, oh, you know how the Xbox sometimes goes into like sleep mode and you have to wake it up. So I woke it up. It was fine. It was open again. And then it just turned off. And I was like, normally if it turns itself off, it's because it's idled for long enough. It would turn itself off to save battery power. Not save battery power, so save power or something like that. But it hadn't been gone on idle mode for that long. I'd only just woken it up. So I was like, okay, I'll just turn it back on again. Press the power button. Nothing happened. Press the controller. The controller's blinking away, trying to link to something. Nothing's happening. I tried basically pressing the power button on the Xbox a couple of times. It's not coming back to life. It's gone. It's literally dead. So I was like, okay, maybe it might have been a power surge, so I'll try it on a different socket and see if it's a socket's issue. Nope, still not turning on. I tried replacing the kettle plug for another kettle plug. Not kettle plug, sorry. Whichever plug that plug is. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But I tried to use a different plug to see if it was a plug's issue. Still, same problem. It was not turning back on again. So I was, as you can understand, very demoralised at this point. So I finished off doing the project I was doing for my sister. Obviously, said goodbye. Blah, 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 went back again. It wasn't working. I tried a completely different room. Was not working. I tried putting the Ethernet cable in. Maybe it was an internet issue. Was not working. So suffice to say, it's now in repairs. And I'm not going to say that for at least a week. But Ash dropped it off on Monday. And the guy it was the same guy that repaired his PlayStation when his PlayStation did basically the same thing. And he did say, which didn't fill me with a lot of hope, he's had a couple of Xbox Series X's recently. And the issue they've had, in a similar way that mine turned off, is the CPU has basically detached itself. And if that's the issue, it can't be repaired. And I'm like, please don't not be that. I can't really afford another 400 quid at the moment for another Xbox. So, oh, I know the reason. I'm just being an arse. No one wants to show Gina though. So if it's a bit juddery tonight, please excuse it. It is the old console that I'm using, not the most recent one. I won't find out about the Series X until I think next week, or the weekend or something like that, when the repair guy lets Ash know what's wrong with it. I'm hoping it's not a detached CPU, and I'm hoping it's something like it needed cleaning out. And obviously, you can't. I'm not confident to dismantle the Xbox and dust it, because it's just basically a giant fan at the top, isn't it? So I'm hoping it's dusty and it's just burned out, and it just needs to clean up and it'll be fine. I'm hoping it's that, because I really can't afford a new console right now. I hope stream's running okay. How is it on your side? Is it okay? Is it juddery? Because this will dictate if I do this again this week or not. We also had a poll last time to figure out what the external wall is going to be like. What kind of external walls do we want the City Hall to look like? Because at the moment we did the inside, but not the outside. Once we've got the external walls up, I can finish off the foyer in here. And then I can also then do a start on the second floor, or the first floor if you're British. I'm just going to quickly check that everything's running fine. So, yeah, I will start working. Your cam's a little jittery, but the game seems okay. So, not the console related. Oh, it's my camera. Okay. That's intriguing. I thought it'd be the other way around. Okay, well, if the game's running fine, then that's fine. I don't think it's going to need too much power to power Minecraft. It's not an extensive game. You know, the console is like elderly. So what we need to do, oh yes, go to the walls of Pollington. Let's go over here. I'll move them over here. These were the walls that, if you were on our Discord, you can get to vote on to see what the external walls will be. So we've got this one, which was monochrome. I call that one monochrome. This one was beige. This one was military keep. This one was classic brick. And this one was summer home. So I put a poll up on the Discord, and the winners of that poll were actually, let me just bring it back up. Where's the polls? Polls. There we go. We had a tie, and there was a tie between the classic brick and beige. So it's between this one over here and this one over here. So I'm going to do something that I did with episode 3 itself, where there was a tie. I did both. So how am I going to merge the beige wall with the classic brick wall? We'll work this out as we go along. But I'm just going to dismantle these other walls. Now we don't need them. And then I'll work out how I'm going to merge them together. And I've also, I don't know if you've noticed as I was flying over, there's a new addition to Yorcity, and I'll show you that in a minute. Something that I have been planning to do for about a year, and it's always get put on the back burner, but I've managed to remember to do it this time. You just quickly dismantle these unwanted walls. How is it running, by the way? Is it not? Is it running okay, or is it jittering again? Classic beige. Now, in my head, when I was doing the poll, I was like, in my head, I had like a white building, like a white or grey building. So the beige works out for me. Or alternatively, the brick building was also in my head as like one of my top 2 favourites. Of the poll, so it's kind of worked out quite well for me actually. So these were the winning walls. Is a sentence I've said today. There's a creeper face in the clouds. And there's a little issue, but it seems to be the stream, not the game. Game seems fine. Okay, good. I'm glad. Oh yeah, there's a creeper face in the clouds. I didn't realise this before. The first time I've noticed that. Well, obviously, I'm assuming it put it in ages ago, but first time I've noticed they put a creeper face in the clouds. That's really cool. I love that. Yeah, these are the 2 that won. We had classic brick and we have beige over here. So I'm thinking. I do like to be beside the seaside. I do like the beige walls, And I like these as like around the windows, as like kind of like worn kind of brick windows and like window shutters. So I might keep the archway here, which is out of dripstone. I might change the actual body of the wall and maybe make it either the brick colour here or the mangrove, which is this brick over here, this block over there. And then I'll see how that works out. And then maybe I might keep the sandstone, like the bottom layer, and maybe have this kind of like, I think it's cherry tree. The cherry tree one as like the one on the top. But let me show you what the new thing is that I put on today. Hi, Jai. Hello, welcome. And Nathan. Hello, Nathan. How you doing? Been ages since you dropped by. How have you been? I know you were entertaining my husband earlier on. I hope you had fun. This is the new thing that I've added, which I said I was going to add about a year ago. And that is the Ivory Harbour billboard sign over the harbour itself. So last time it was literally just a signpost here. But I've actually gone out and actually done the billboard itself. So now you've got the actual proper signage for the harbour itself. And it's double-sided as well. Okay. I like that I've made the Y part of the anchor as well. That's a nice touch. Yeah, so now Ivory Anchor Harbour now has a sign, so everyone can see it from far away. Doing all right. It has been an overwhelming day. I will say that. Yeah, I've gone through loads of different emotions today, all in one day, and I'm feeling. I felt very overwhelmed, very kind of. What's the word I'm looking for? Not drained, but like, because I felt so overwhelmed, I was kind of very frazzled when I got home. So yeah, this is helping. This is helping, like, calm me down a little bit. But yeah, it was a bit of a. It was a day. Should we say that? Doing what Ash said the challenge was, not sure if Nathan would have enjoyed it. Talking about the Series X, any update on it? Oh, yes, Dry. So you've literally just missed when I was telling about the whole saga about the Series X. It's currently in for repairs. I won't hear anything about it until at the earliest, maybe the weekend. The repair guy's got a bit of a backlog at the moment. He has told Ash, though, if it's one particular issue, it can't be saved and it's dead. I'm hoping it's not that, because I do not have the money to replace it. But if it's not that, then obviously he can repair it. And we're looking at something between like £60 to £140, depending on what's wrong with it. I'm hoping, and this is me thinking on the bright side, that it's too dusty, it needed cleaning out. Obviously, you can't clean it out without taking it apart. So I'm hoping it's that, because that's what was the issue with the PC was a couple of months back when the PC did the same thing. It was covered in dust and hadn't been cleaned out. So I'm hoping that will fix it. But yeah, I won't go through the whole saga again, but watch it back on the VODs. At the beginning of the stream, I explained the whole series, but the whole sequence of events. But yes, I'm just waiting to hear back from the repair guy at the moment. And I'm hoping it's not too extensive. I can afford it if he can fix it, but I can't afford it if it needs a full replacement. We might have to end up going back to the Xbox One, like the good old days in the early 10s, until I can find another one, if it's that case, if it comes to that thing. But yeah, so these are the two that won the walls. So we need to kind of merge this together into one wall. So let's grab the blocks I liked from either of them, which was the dripstone. It was the stripped mangrove. Like so. I might actually use the planks for this one. It might look better. I don't know. What else did I like? I like the sandstone as well. What else did I like? Cherry. It was a cherry tree one. Which would be this block right here. So if I can use these 5 blocks, I might be able to make something. I mean, considering a new one is like 500 quid, yeah, that's a cheaper option. I hope it's not a series. You don't need multiple seasons of Xbox problems. No, I don't. I don't even need one, to be honest. What happened now? It's a Series X, right? Yes, it is. It's the big block Xbox that people joked looked like a fridge when it first came out. I don't have the slim one; I have the full fat one. Yeah, it just turned off and wouldn't turn back on again. I've tried it with different plugs. I've tried it with different sockets. I've tried it in different rooms. It wouldn't turn back on again. And the repair guy said, I can fix it unless the CPU would detach itself, in which case it's fucked. But I don't know that yet until he's repaired it. I'll probably have to wait until maybe Monday for that. So let me think. What do I need to put this? I do like this dark wood on here. Shall I place this down here? So this is what I'm working out. I'm just feeling it out right now. Of the new wall. We got the sandstone blocks at the bottom, like so. Then we've got. I want to use the dripstone like I've done on this one with the shutters and the archway. So put that over there. So, I've done that a bit too short. Like so. And then like that. Is your PC wired or wireless right now? It is wireless right now. The PC is wireless. The Xbox is wired. Because if I didn't have it wired, it would be so much slower. Put it this way. So I was doing the thumbnail for today's stream. And normally I do them up the night before or like the morning before the day that I'm streaming. And I can normally do them in like a couple of minutes. It's very, very, very easy on the Xbox Series X. On the Xbox One, it took me a full half an hour to get the game open. So I was late for work because I was trying to get the game open so I could take the thumbnail to actually finish the thumbnail to put it on the stream. It was maddening. Yeah. There's lag on the stream. You need to get we need to get you an Ethernet switch. Yes, so yeah, I think EP mentioned it. So the camera might be lagging, but the game isn't. And to be honest, I prefer the game not to lag. I prefer it that way around. I prefer me to lag, not the game. Can you hear me okay? I know the picture might be jittery, but can you hear me okay? I'm assuming so because you're responding back to my questions. So it's just the visuals might be a bit crap at the moment. And also, Nathan, I figured out why Ash couldn't get the webcam working. It wasn't plugged in. I unplugged it to help Sarah, help my sister with one of her video projects because we needed an extra USB so she could plug a hard drive in. And I forgot to tell Ash to plug it back in again, which is why he couldn't get it working. Audio is fine. Okay, great. Glass is what I need. But it's now connected back in again, so it might be a bit jittery because I've only just turned it back in, maybe? Or, again, it could be that it's not connected to the Ethernet cable at the moment. Right, so we've got these as the windows. Then what did I say I wanted to do with that? Then either the strip mangrove log as the facade. Nathan loves me using that word. Or the mangrove planks as the facade. So I'll do half and half, and we'll figure out which one looks best. Like so, and then the cherry wood on top. I mean, they kind of look pretty much similar, the mangrove on its own or the mangrove planks. What do people prefer? Do you prefer the planks or do you prefer like the solid red? Oh, Ash, I wish I had a facepalm emote. I'm not even surprised. I even told him, because obviously I was in Nottingham yesterday, so I wasn't even in the house. I even texted him saying, "Have you tried plugging it in?" And he said, "Oh no, I'll wait until you get back." And I'm like, "I'm not getting back until tomorrow. You need to just plug it back in." And he didn't. But I also like, it's not like you need your face because you're recording it anyway. Like if you're recording it as a video, you don't necessarily need your face. What I'm saying is, I helped him out. Well, whilst the sun's setting, we can have a look at the billboard and see how it's lit up as well. Ta-da! I'm really proud of this. I put a D&D podcast on whilst I was building this, and it was a really lovely afternoon. You know what? I know what this billboard needs. It needs lights. I'll put the lights on. Ash's tech skills remind me so much of when I worked at a computer shop, specifically when I had to try and explain computers to people who are 80 plus. Yeah, like this is a thing where I work. 'Cause obviously, I work in the NHS, and not necessarily. I don't work in a GP surgery. I work in secondary care, but primary care are very pushing people to use the app to order their prescriptions and appointments and that sort of thing. And I'm like, that's fine for people like me, but anybody over the age of say 65, they ain't gonna know what that is. They don't even know what that means. They just want to speak to a human. They want to speak to an actual person, which I get because they've been brought up with that. I do not have the patience to tell my parents how to work a smartphone. They don't have a smartphone. They have no idea what that means. But it feels like that's being like forced onto the elderly population. Is like you need to get digital. I was like, but they don't want to. They don't like it. I mean, I'm not speaking for all people over the age of 80, but because some people might be quite savvy. But majority of people that I know of that age wouldn't have any idea what to start with that. And that's great. Thank you, EP. But yeah, let's go back to the wall. Bring on the wall. So I'm stuck in hole in the wall mode now. So this is what the wall looks like. Do people prefer this side or this side? That is plank side or stripped side. Plank or strip. I can understand it though. It does get to a point where it costs too much money to keep old systems running for tech illiterate people. EP says left. He prefers the planks over the plain one. Because I'm thinking whichever one people prefer more, I can then put whichever the other one is either side of it, like the one next to it. I can either put like a solid red one next to it, or I can put a plank one next to it. Just put that up. Oh, brain not working. There we go. Because I prefer this side to that side, just because that doesn't really make any sense to me having that as the pillar. I prefer it to be like a solid colour. But I think we're winning with the left-hand side. So we'll just get rid of this. And then we'll just replace this with the planks. So once I've done the exterior walls in this kind of fashion, I will then finish off the foyer and make a start on sorting out the floor plan for the first floor. That's my goal for this stream this week. I don't want to do too much because I don't want the stream to blow up. But if I can get that done tonight, it's always happy. We're all happy. Let me just quickly check the stream on my side to see how it looks on my phone. Yeah, I can see the frame rate in the webcam. Definitely apparent on that side. But it's fine. I'm happy that it's just the webcam doing that and not the game. If it was the game, I wouldn't be able to carry on. That would just annoy me. Yeah, something like that, maybe. And then, we got the. Do I want to put the awning over the top of it? I think I kind of wanna. But I'm trying to think what kind of awning I'd like to put on. Maybe I'll use like the end stone over here and use that as the awning because I've used pretty much all the blocks from here apart from the bricks. But I've not used anything not used too much from this side. So maybe I'll use the end stone one in here. Let's just have a look. End stone slab. Do I need a stair as well? No, just slabs. See if this works. If it doesn't work, I'll get rid of it. I mean, I don't hate that. I think I might need to put something underneath it though, if I was going to do that. Not that. Or maybe, as I put there, maybe that. I don't think I like that. Maybe I will use a stair block here. There, maybe? We want to bring it in. I think I prefer that. That looks more like it flows better rather than just being stuck on. So I think I will go with this wall. As a kind of perfect combination of both this one and that one. I can use this one here. Now, do I want to swap the cherry block over for the sandstone at the bottom or keep it as it is? I think I might keep it as it is because then it blends into the wall more. I think if I replace that one for this one, it's going to stick out too much. We'll stick with that. I know who had the bright idea to terraform the desert, but they need to spend the night in stocks. I have no idea who'd ever want to do that. And I bet you if they did, they'd be from Essex. Those crazy Essex people. I don't know what the actual name for someone who lives in Essex is, other than an Essex. An Exonian? No, that doesn't sound right. I also found out a way of copying and pasting things the other day. It's a slightly different way of how I remember it because I, up until last week, I think, haven't ever copied and pasted anything in Minecraft before. I've just built it myself. And I thought it was you put something in the command column, like when I bring, not that one up, when I bring this up, I type something in there and it moves it for you. That is right on PC, but on Xbox, there's a slightly different way of doing it. I don't know if they've actually changed it for the PC as well, but I remember it being able to put like long code in. Basically the same code I use for like filling an area. And instead of fill it, just replace it with copy and paste. But there's a much easier way of doing it. So this is our wall. This is what we're going to go with for City Hall. It's going to look like this on the ground level. And we'll see what it looks like on the upper floors. If I want to change it maybe for the upper floors, I might. But this is what we've got so far. Are we happy with that? I think we're happy with that. So, to copy and paste on Xbox, what you need to do, I'm just going to grab these blocks so I don't lose them. Is you need to get yourself a command block. And I can't remember how you do that. Hang on a second. I know the way of doing it, and I cannot remember what it was. Hang on a second. There was a way of doing it. I know there was a way of doing it. And that thing, all smart then, thinking I remembered how to do it, and I was like, I can't remember a thing. That one, I think. And now I'm just watching a YouTube video inside a YouTube video. You're welcome. Yeah, Essex people are weird. You need to keep them out of your city at all costs. You have to use the give command. It's not in the menu. Thank you. I know. I remember that now. So you have to go. Is it on my? Was it in my previous? You can go back up and check your old ones, but you can't for this one. So you need to go / give space, and then it's post player, which is me. So you go at E space, and then you go. I think it's command, isn't it? I think it's called command block. Yeah, command block. Did command block? I think there's another one, wasn't it? I think it was called command. I think it was something block. I don't think what it is. Which was the one I saw? That was the one I saw, not the other one. Structure, not command. Give P structure block. And it pops up in my inventory. So this little purple block here, if I place it near the wall, it will then create a box around it. I can edit the size of the box to incorporate the whole wall. And then all I need to do then, once I've put the code in, is then move over to the City Hall build that I put over here and place another command block down there and select, I think it's load or save or something like that. And it will then copy it over to wherever I've placed the second block, basically. So I'm going to put this here now. So I'll show you what I mean. Command block. You see, look, it's put a little box around it. And I go into it. So as if I was placing it again. And it shows you what you've got copied, basically, at the moment. So you've got a little bit of the wall, not all of it. So what I need to do is I need to, first of all, offset it. So as you can see at the moment, it's got part of the floor as well. The grass level. We don't need the grass, we just need what's on top of it. So we set the Y coordinate to 0. There you go, that gets rid of the ground for you. Then we need to move one of these coordinates so it's longer. I think is Z. Move Z longer. No, not Z, sorry. Yeah, Z. I'm right. Going mad. I'm going to make Z 8. And that should take most of the wall with it. Oh, we're just short of one block. I'll make that 9 then. There you go. Close that video now. So it's 9. So we'll just press start on that. Did not do it. Let's make it 10. some reason I didn't do all of it. There you go. That's all we need for that side. Now we need to move it up. So we go for the y-axis, not axis. And then we move that up to 8. I think that's why I got it wrong. I've mixed them the other way around. There you go. 8 is what I needed. So this is blowing my mind. You're actually teaching me something new. You see, I did my research as well, EP. So EP told me about shelves I had no idea about, and I'm so glad he did. And I'm teaching about copying and pasting. So now I have selected an area that I want to copy. So we've selected an area I want to copy. You can see, you can move it around and see what you've got. Let's go over here. So just make sure that if you don't want the ground below it, to offset everything to 0. And make sure your sizes, make sure the box is all within the same area that you want to save. Then what you need to do is you need to go to structure name, give it a name. Don't make it complicated. Make it a name you're going to recognize. So say you, I'm saying this now like as if you were like, say you make this name and then you turn the game off, come back to it a couple of days later, you've forgotten what it is. Make it simple and then just copy it over. So I'm going to call this, what am I going to call this one? Of course, mangrove. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call it man wall. Man wall. So then you press start. Now it saves it now as my structure man wall, or whatever you end up calling it. Then you need to go to down here where it says save. Structure has now been saved. What do you do now then? So now this has now saved this selection of boxes to the game. I don't know where it saves it to, but it's saved it now. So now I can go exit out of it. And now I need to put this purple block somewhere else where I want to put it. So I'm going to put it over here. I'm just using this as a reference. I just want to keep it closer to where it is, basically, so I can refer to it. Then you take the block. Man wall sounds like Ash's version of a good time. Certainly does. So we'll place the block over here. And I can't remember if it will place it exactly in the same orientation as it's over there, or it will move it back. I don't know. I'm going to put it here so it's out the way. Right, so I placed it there, look. Now, it's going to do the same thing it did beforehand where it shows you a box, but it's not actually got anything in it. So we'll go back into it. So we'll press LT again as if you're placing it again. Open up the menu. And this time, instead of changing all the numbers around or anything like that, you just need to go to the top of the page where it says save with a little drop down arrow. Select that, select load, and then put the name of what you've called it in there. So if I put man wall in here, it should save it. We should bring it up. Man wall. Press start. Now it looks like it hasn't done anything. It looks like it just changed the box but hasn't brought anything in. What you need to do is, before you do that, is the offset will reset itself to -1 for some reason. Make sure that's still 0. You don't want the offset to be any number at all. It all has to be 0 if you just want what's in the box and not what it's standing on. I've done that, so it looks like I've deleted everything. I haven't. Believe me, I haven't. I've just set it up so it will just bring in the blocks and not what it's sitting on or anything like that. Then you go down to load. Press load. It will bring up the boxes, the blocks that you've saved as you have saved it beforehand, like this. Then all I need to do now is press B to back out. And it should, if I've done it right, bring the wall where I've placed it. Let's find out. Moment of truth. Ta-da! You have now copied a block or a building or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if there is a limit to how far you can move the numbers or how many blocks you can move at a time. I'd probably limit it to just the bit you need rather than the whole building or a whole floor or something like that. I might use this later when I'm doing like the second floor, third floor, that sort of thing, just because I'm copying it up. That's what you need to do to basically copy it. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's a white box around it still. I don't want the white box. I just want what's inside of it. The way you can get rid of that. Get rid of the block. It's gone, but your building is still there. And all you need to do now is get rid of what the original one was. over here. Now it will still save this block no matter where you put it. So if I get rid of that and say I want to place it again over here, press the same block, left click on it again, and then go for the whole thing again, load up the whatever you saved, and it will then place it there. And that is how you copy and paste on the Xbox Bedrock Edition. So I'm going to keep the what do you call it, structure block over here in my inventory in case I need it in the future. I'm not going to need it for the rest of the stream, but I just wanted to demonstrate that for you because I had no idea you could do that until I looked that up. Yeah, I've not tested that on any big structures yet, but like if it's a small thing you want to copy and paste somewhere else, I would recommend using that. I might test it on something bigger in the future, but I will be conservative for now and just do small bits. Because I want to limit my use of World Edit as much as I can. I want to build most of this myself. But there'll be certain occasions where I'm like, I don't want to build the same floor 5 times over. If I can just like copy and paste that floor and just move it up. All this time playing Minecraft and I'm still learning new things. You see, like I said a couple of weeks ago when you showed me what shells were, I had no idea. Like you're constantly learning in this game. It's a constant learning process. Okay, so I've got this as my basis for what the exterior walls are going to look like. Then I'm basically going to copy this, but over here. So let me get the blocks again. I'm just going to go line by line to make it easier for myself. I'm just going to need the sandstone and the endstone brick stairs for now. I'm going to go around in sandstone, and then wherever there's a window, I'm going to place the endstone brick upside down. I'm going to go through that first. So these windows aren't going to need it. That's not going to need it. This one might need it. And when it comes to like a corner piece as well, I might end up having to just do it this way. Maybe. Actually, you know what? I will do it on either side. Like that. And largely it covers it up, but it's fine. I can live with that. Then I can then place the rest of it round. Hopefully it should all marry together once it's been done. Trust the process. I'm saying that to myself. Trust the process, Finn. Okay. I wonder what the billboard looks like now. Well, you can see it from so far away now. I've lit it up. Yeah, still quite clearly, even though it's like all the way over the other side of town. Proud of myself. Now, I've not tried it with command block before. I don't know if there's another way of doing it via command block, but that's the way that I found out how to do it. I might have to edit this just a bit because I can see the walls behind it. So I might just have to link them together. which I don't want to do that. It's annoying me that you can see the wall behind it. Actually, you know what? I think that looks better. It looks like it's part of the wall now rather than tacked onto it. I might change it when I go back round. Yeah, today was a bit of it's a strange day today. There's a conflict of emotions, I think, today. So I walked in today and my line manager gave me a little bit of card. I'm like, oh, what's this? And it turns out one of my colleagues had put me forward for a what do you call it? Like a recommendation, like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like recognition award or something like that because of all my hard work. I was like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. Like, put a tear to my eye kind of thing. I'm like, I feel really appreciated. Great. And then I immediately just message him going, thank you very much for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. You're amazing. Oh, no, you're amazing, blah, blah, blah. My morning was great. Even though the phone calls were off the hook all morning, that kind of really made my day. And then about 3 hours in, no, not 3 hours in, about at 3:30 even, the same day, we get an email from our like our department head, not department head, sorry, from like my boss's boss, not the department boss, but my boss's boss. Basically saying they're having another meeting next week on Wednesday, I think it is. Wednesday? Double check. Yeah, next week on Wednesday. Basically going over the same shit they went over in September. Which was a whole debacle, and nobody enjoyed it, myself included. But we're doing it again because it's now the turn for somebody else in the office to do that job that nobody wanted. So I went from having the elation of like, oh, I'm being recognised, I'm being appreciated, it's great, to, oh crap, we have to go through this process again. So it's been quite overwhelming. And then one of my childhood best friend's wife sent me a job application for a job that she had running at her place. Now, I'm not currently looking for one, so just to say I'm quite happy where I am at the moment, despite the issues I have with management. I'm happy where I am. I'm not currently looking. But she had messaged me about it whilst I was recovering the week beforehand. But I'd be like, oh yeah, that's nice. Kind of like, you know, it would be nice if it happens, but I'm not like rushing out to do it, that sort of thing. She messaged me again today about like, have you applied for it? I can make sure my manager knows it's from you so they can look into it properly and stuff like that. I hadn't applied for this job. I'd not given it too much notice, too much word since she mentioned it at the time. Because at the time I was recovering from surgery. My head wasn't in that place at the moment. It's still not at the moment. So I basically ignored it. And then she was messaging me about it today. And she's doing it out of the goodness of her heart. Like, she didn't have to do that. She's doing that. She's putting her neck out on the line for me. But I felt frustrated about it. And it's difficult to kind of explain this, but it's more the fact that like I wasn't looking to start off with. Like, it sounds like I'm being disingenuous or I'm being like selfish for that, but like, it's like if I'd said to this person, said like, I am looking, if anything comes up, let me know. That'd be a different story. I'd be very appreciative about that. I didn't have that conversation with this person. They've gone out of their way to do it for me, which I think that it's coming from a good place, coming from like, oh, I'm looking out for you, that sort of thing. But in the moment today, where I've had such a flood of emotions today, it just came across as, I didn't ask for this. Why are you doing this for me? And difficult to kind of like put into words. It's a bit like I don't know if I was like kind of like putting myself down about it, or it was like a case of like I don't know how to kind of describe what it was, but it felt a little bit kind of I want to say intrusive, but it's not the right word. It felt a bit like if I'd asked for this, great, but I've not asked for this. It feels a little bit like why have I not been consulted first, kind of thing. It's difficult to kind of put this into words, but I felt very conflicted. So I didn't message her. I didn't reply back to her all day because I was at work, and I messaged back to her. I think just before dinner. I think it was. I messaged back when I got home, and she replied back about half an hour later, just saying, "No, I get it. The commute would have been the worst thing for you because it's not in my home city. It's in one of the villages in the next county over, basically. So I'd have to commute to get there. And I did two. No, I didn't do two. I did about 6 years of commuting every day by a bus, and it's not my favourite thing in the world. I like the job I've got at the moment because I can get there within walking distance. I don't have to commute. So it's like, I don't know. I understand because of the commuting distance you couldn't do it. Now, on the one hand, I was going like, great, this is fine. I didn't have to have an awkward conversation. But on the other hand, I'm a bit like, not technically the reason, but I appreciate the fact that she took that with what am I looking for? She kind of like she took it well rather than feeling like I'd like slapped her down or whatever, or like said no, I don't want it, kind of thing. You get what I'm saying? I've kind of like fumbled my way through that explanation, but yeah. So I had like the elation in the morning of having that certificate and having that appreciation. I'm like, yeah, great, this is amazing. I feel great. Then I had the kind of like conflicted emotions about the potential new job offer that maybe I should have a bit more kind of gratitude towards, but I didn't feel it at the time. And then had the annoyance at the end of the day where I had that email drop by my boss's boss having no tact whatsoever, saying, "Oh, I'm going to change all your roles for you." It's been a bit much today. New Harry Potter HBO trailer dropped. It looks pretty good. I'm glad it looks good. I'm probably not going to watch it. I'm going to skip it. And it's not because of brain mold. It's more because I've had that phase of my life now where I was like really into Harry Potter. I don't think I'm into it as much as I was, to be honest. I think that part of my life is has passed now. Like I'm happy that it happened. I did enjoy it whilst it was big and stuff like that, but I don't think I need to revisit it, and I don't think I'll be watching the TV series for that. I've already got a visual representation of that series in my head. I don't need another version of it just yet. And I know that makes me feel like I'm 1,000 years old, but that's just how I feel about it. Would have been when the films came out. It would have been a teenager, wouldn't I? Yeah, the films came out what 2002? Been 20 years ago. Yeah, I would have been a teenager, a very young teenager when the films came out. Now, with the perfect time for me to be into that series, but nowadays I don't think I'm like willing to jump back in. If that makes sense. Like the latest Toy Story film as well that's coming out, I think this year. I'll probably watch it because that is also part of my childhood. But I in my head I'm like, this doesn't need to exist. The film itself, its storyline, I think it ended about 2 films ago. But I will still watch it because that's still like I'm gonna say it's a favorited like childhood nostalgic thing that I'll still watch Toy Story, but I don't have that with Harry Potter. I get you, those movies were special. Sounds like they decided, hey, you don't have much on right now. Have a pile of stuff to deal with. Yes, pretty much. That's exactly what it was. I was 5 when the first one came out. Stop it. Guys, stop it. Stop making me feel old. Right, so let me look at it. So 2002, I would have been 11? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I would have been 11. Yeah, I would have been 11 when the first film came out. And I think I was a teenager, like approaching my 20s when the last one came out. I say this, Jai. Like, this is not Jai's fault, by the way. I'm not having a go at Jai. But I was watching the Scrubs revival recently, and they made a reference to the main characters being old, and they played the Macarena, and I felt immediately called out because now the Macarena is considered as vintage. I'm like, no, it's not. The Macarena was only like 10 years ago in my head. 1st one was 2001. I was 10 then. I would have been 10. But you are Finn. You are Finn. I am Finn. Thank you. But you are old Finn. You'll be 35 soon. How dare you, EP? So will you in about 4 months after mine. I can't even imagine being that old. You won't have long to wait. So I was working on more of the next edit with Nathan in it, but that might go on hold soon because we recorded the Eurovision video last week, and I'm going to switch over to editing that very soon because I need to get that out before probably May. Obviously, the contest is in May, so I want to kind of get that done sooner rather than later. So the Nathan video might come out probably end of April, May time now. We also recorded another video where Ash unfortunately wasn't in it, but it's okay because his cousin Woody Baggage was in it, and it was just the amount of chaos you would assume from a name from someone named Woody Baggage. "35 is giving me a full-on existential crisis." You know what the worst thing is about turning 35, apart from turning 35? It's the fact that I will now be in a new age bracket. That's the thing that I'm dreading. When you get to fill in like a questionnaire, or if you're filling in a form, something like that, and they ask you your age, and it's a load of age ranges. Last year was the last time I would be part of the 18 to 34 age group. And now I'm going to be part of the 35 to 50 group. And I'm not happy with that. Or 35 to 55, I think it is. Don't think I'm ready to leave that age group yet. Nothing reminds me more of my age than when I'm checking IDs at the cinema. One at 2008 and that ID, and I was like, yeah, I just turned 18 last week. Yeah, no, when I was working at the coffee shop, I had exactly the same thing, Jai. is when you realise that time's passing is when you're trying to ID someone, and like 2006 was 20 years ago. It doesn't feel like it was 20 years ago, but 2006 was 20 years ago. So you'll be like IDing someone, and they have like a an ID from like 2006. You're like, wait, you're not over 18. You're like, oh wait, no, do the math. Yes, you are. That wasn't fun. Thing is, I'm half joking, but I'm also half panicking about it. It's not great. My sister says she feels the same about the age group. Yeah, yeah. It's like the first time. I'm just going to zoom out so we can see the full thing. The first time I felt properly old. Now I've mentioned the story beforehand. It's the seminal moment where I was like, okay, now I'm officially an old person, an older person, as opposed to being young and young and fit and free. Was when I mentioned something about watching Matilda or something on VHS, and my supervisor at the time, who was 21, I think, had no idea what I was talking about, and I felt 1,000 years old trying to describe what a VHS tape was. Initially, I didn't believe her. I thought she was like having me on for a bit. I was like, no, she genuinely has no idea what that is, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh yeah, that's when the B movie came out, and we're like, stop the phone right there. It's not been that long. Okay, we've got that. Let's then we can move these back into there. I'm going to need that for the windows. I'll place these over here for now. I'm not going to need the glass just yet. The window's already in. I will need the stripped mangrove and the mangrove planks. I've already got the dripstone there. I'll need the cherry wood for the top layer. Right, so now I need to figure out how I'm working out the shutters and stuff like that. So I will do. I'm going to go around the whole thing in one block in the mangrove planks, and then I'll put in the shutters and the window. I don't know what you call them. The window alcoves and the shutters in afterwards, so I can then work out where they need to be, rather than doing it on the fly. Joseph will be back later. No problem, Jai. I hope you come back soon. Hurry back soon. From now on, we're all 21 while in this stream. No getting old here. It's not allowed. Your age just pauses when you get to this stream. It hasn't happened for a long while, but like when you see those or you're talking to those people that are like oh, you should act your age, or you should like grow up and stop liking the things you like because you're getting old and stuff like that. I was like, I completely like disagree with that. It's like, you know what, if you love that thing, you love it. Like, you don't feel like you need to stop loving it just because you got older. As long as you are still fit and healthy to do that, then do it. It's not hurting anyone. Do it. Life doesn't have like a time limit on it for certain things, within reason. Obviously, certain medical conditions will obviously change that. But yeah, enjoy your life. Don't feel like you have to kind of like cut parts of yourself off just for other people. think I'll put this as a base block, and then I can obviously edit around it once it's all built up. Yeah, there are some people who go a bit far, like focusing on their hobby or interest, or to such an extent that their adult life is suffering. Well, unless you're doing that, just do what makes you happy. I agree with that, EP. Only get one life, might as well have a good time with it. Exactly. Okay. I'm getting a little bit excited now that I'm putting the walls up on the outside. It looks more like a building now rather than just a series of boxes. Now where the lift is, I'm going to stop around the lift because I'm going to build another thing. Because I want this to be kind of like a external like glass elevator kind of thing on the side that you see on some buildings. I want to kind of leave a gap for that so I can do an extra bit for that. I might use the stripped mangrove log to do like a framework around there. So I'll leave this for now. In happier news, I am slowly getting things ready for my visit. Yay! I'm really looking forward to seeing you again, EP. Like, it's been too long. Has it been like 3 years, something like that? It doesn't feel like 3 years, but it shouldn't have been 3 years. It should have been a lot shorter than that. But obviously, I understand that life got in the way. I can't wait to see you again. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be so exciting. This is an issue we have, is the diagonal windows. If I put a block there, it's going to block off this. And if I put a block there, it's going to block off that. So I'm a bit stuck with that one. What do with these diagonal windows now? This is an issue I didn't see beforehand. Okay. I think I can get away with it. If I replace this with the dripstone later on, I can maybe get away with that. So I won't throw metal just yet with that. Again, I've not built a diagonal building before, so I'm having to retrain my brain on like where things should be situated. Like, yeah, if I replace these blocks over here with the dripstone ones, yes, it will show through on the other side, but it will make it look more like a window frame. Oh. 3 years around your birthday. Ow. Yeah, I look a bit rough today. Waiting for EP to say, you always look rough. And I'm like, fuck you. Because I've had about 5 hours sleep from last night. Because last night, directly after work, I went on train, Nottingham, to go to the script writing group that me and Andy frequent once a month. So we went back there again. Well, I went back there yesterday. Andy unfortunately wasn't there. And yeah, so it starts at 6, and normally it finishes at 9, but it finished early this time. And I could have gone home because I wasn't planning on staying too long afterwards because it's the last couple of days before payday, so I am not very flush right now. So I was intending to like go early, but obviously I can't because my train, my ticket was one of those trains where you have to get a specific one, and I didn't want to pay another ticket to get another train, so I had to stay there for another hour, which meant that by the time I got home, it was about 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, well I'll grab a bite to eat and then I'll go to bed. Went to bed about midnight. By 1:30 in the morning, my brain still wasn't shutting off. I was in bed. I was waiting to go to Land of Nod, and it was like the train never came to Land of Nod. I was just lying there like I'm existing, but I'm not sleeping. So I'm a little bit sleep deprived today. I might sound a little bit croaky. I'm gonna leave that there. I think that window works without the USB dripstone added on. Might have to put a shelf over the white bits over here to kind of hide the inside wall. Was I anywhere near in my guesses EP with your new build in the desert? You have to tell me what it was, but was I close? Nope. Okay, good to know. I can tell you if you want, it's announced in the video. Ooh. Well, I'll watch the video then. I'll find out from the video. I don't want to spoil it. I haven't had a chance to check your video yet because I have literally only just come home from work. I might add a new facade to this in a minute. I'm trying to promote a video just saying I can talk about it because it's public. Oh no, I'm not accusing you of self-promotion, Epo. It's fine. I think we've linked up again. Okay, so this is what the outside looks like without any details on it. I kind of prefer using the mangrove one because it doesn't look like the generic brick. It looks like a painted brick from a distance. Oh, I've missed this one out. Only annoying thing is obviously the diagonal windows. I've had to work around that. But I can easily replace those ones. I think I'll keep the... Excuse me. I think I'll keep these ones because they look like window frames already. And the same with the black ones over there. But with the sandstone ones, I'm probably going to replace those for the dripstone. That looks like window frames. And also with the toilet block, I'm going to put... Actually, I'm going to do that now. Put the shelf up to cover that gap. Oh, and this will be a nice, easy way of hiding this without covering the window up too much. There you go. Oh, have I put a shelf inside a shelf? There you go. Oh, and I need to do another entrance on the other side as well of this. But let's go around with the dripstone now and fill in those gaps for the windows. This one I might have to leave as it is for now because of where it's placed. If I go inside, it's going to show up if I put one there and there, but then it doesn't carry over onto this side. I might have to live with that one, annoyingly. Unless I replace it. I don't know if I like putting that in the inside. It's going to look a bit ugly if I do that. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this one. I just place this as we would do normally. We can edit it all later. These little toilet windows, I'm not going to put shutters on because they are supposed to be like peephole windows. They're not supposed to be big. Oh. Okay, the kitchen windows as well. I don't know if I'm gonna the one on top or just leave the sides for this one because they're long, thin windows. I'm thinking I might leave it like that for this one without the bit on top. Bollocks. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. There we go. All fixed. Next stream problem. Yeah, the next stream problem. I will put them on this bigger window over here. This looks like it's a bay window. I like it kind of, it looks a little bit kind of, what I'm looking for. It looks like a downtown building now, but it looks kind of like a red brick townhouse, but like it's had like extensions put on it, and they've just been going on and on and on until it becomes like a giant, huge building. That it is. Right, here we are with the diagonal windows. So I'm hoping that there's nothing attached to them that's going to fall off them immediately when I break these walls, but we'll find out. Got some shelving. And a light is fine. It should be fine. The only time where I'll have to drop the illusion that it's a double wall by revealing it. See, that looks better. It looks like it was part of that initially anyway. saying. Tall windows, I'm not going to put the bit on top, but the wider windows I will. Excuse me. I'm going to leave this open. I don't want to ruin the design on the inside by putting that on it. I'm going to leave it as is for now for this one. Same with that window too. For the offices, they're going to have to conform to the dripstone. I'm going to have to put one shutter on that because this one, I believe, goes into... Oh no, I will be able to place that down. Yeah, that's fine. Worried it might block the window off, but it doesn't. And lots of emails today. Oh, cool. Sorry, I got a Patreon notification. It's like, not now, I'm streaming. We've got this one's already been blocked out. That one's already been blocked out. I am tempted to just leave these black because it's a boardroom. Maybe that might need a bit more space. Therefore, they're not going to need the dirty shutters that are on everything else in the building. I'll just leave it like that for now. But you're going to have the dirty shutters. This I'm going to leave for when we do the exterior entrance bit at the end. So I'm going to leave this alone for now. I will edit it later. I think we're back to the beginning again, aren't we? We're back to the beginning again. Okay, so just realised I need to do another one of these. Farewell, one. Like so. Well, I need to put that on the exterior though. Where it's sitting. Or I can just hide it out by putting it underneath as well. Now it looks like it's part of the same block rather than just floating there. So let's have a quick look around. These ones are all like regular, tall, thin windows. They don't really need anything on top. This one will. That one won't. This one will. This one will. Same with this one. This one. This one. This one's fine. That one will. These ones are fine as well. They're not going to need anything on top. These ones might. Not decided yet. Maybe something on top of there to kind of make it look like it's all part of the same thing. These ones are going to be fine as well. Yeah, we're about to begin again. So let's do the alcove bit first. Or whatever you call it, the overhang. Which I believe is tops of the shutters and above the top. Okay. Oh, no, they're a little bit higher on these ones. I like so. Let's fly around to the next one. Which is this one here. Okay, it's at the top of the shutters, and then top of the bit at the top. That's great English. I think I hear my husband staring. These ones are probably not going to need anything on them. Or that one. Okay. I think those ones on top of the windows are now completely done. We need another layer of mangrove planks, and I can put the cherry one on top, and then I can work out where the pillars are going to go. Pinfall English? That's unpassable. Been a long day, P, okay? Been a long day. My brain is already packed up and gone. I've put my headphones plugged into the monitor and not put them on the entire stream. Better. That's a new record. It's been an hour and a half into the stream, maybe an hour and 40, and I've not put my headphones on yet. I almost read that as Finn's full English then, and you just made me hungry, EP. And it is payday in like 2 days. I think when I finish the stream. Oh, speak of the devil, my husband is here. Hello.
Hi.
Come here. You have a nice nap?
Yeah, so.
EP's in the chat. I was in there earlier and so was Nathan.
Yeah, EP won't want to. Already horrified him today.
What did you do? What did he do?
Well, I was at Nathan's, weren't I? And I was at Nathan's, but I wasn't on screen. Because Nathan only had the one camera bit set up. And Nathan was talking, EP joined, and then I just leaned into the camera like that.
I bet he put the living daylights into you.
And he just went and just like that. I need to wash my hair. Bye.
You could just cook it yourself. Full English is pretty easy. I need the ingredients. I don't have any eggs. I don't have any bacon. What else don't we have? We've got beans. We do the beans. What else do we have? What full English items do we have, Ash? I think we just got beans. No sausages. We could do toast. I could do beans on toast. Worst part is, I'm going to have to see that bastard in a few weeks. This is your decision, EP. You know the risks and benefits from coming over here. You knew what to expect. In the words of Nicole Kidman and the others, what did you expect? I think I will put like some slabs above these windows here, just to kind of like link it together a bit more. I would refund my hotel, but unfortunately it's no refund. It's too late now, EP. You've missed the window to get the refund. Ooh, question for you, EP. When you are over here, I don't think you're much of a drinker, are you? But if you are, do you want me to get anything in for you for the get together at the beginning? It doesn't have to be alcoholic; it can be non-alcoholic too. We're just gonna see how the mood takes you. Now there's an option to book without an option to cancel. Drops 50 quid off the price. I see. Well, I suppose it's beneficial for them in the on the one hand, because like if they've got cancellated, if they've got no one in their room, it costs them money. Whereas if they've got someone in the room, it doesn't cost them as much because obviously the person's paying for it. Well, especially I can sort myself out. That's absolutely fine. Is that new cafe place any good, Ash? Have you tried it yet? Yeah. Okay. Don't know if you tried it whilst I wasn't here. Almost. Okay. There you are. Well done. For Ash, is one tranquilizer dart enough to take him down, or will I need two? Just bring the case. Issue is that the windows aren't all the same height, so therefore if I put the cherry one on, it's going to look a bit too high in certain areas. It's fine, we can work around it. Now I'll go back round and try and edit the windows on the diagonal side, make them look a little bit more like they are part of the design. What are you doing over there? You getting your lunch together? Oh, okay. You could have got me to do that. I'll do that for the stream. Go. You got it. Put it in one. On and off. Okay. I think what Nathan's saying is true. It's the fact that it's not on an Ethernet cable whilst I'm streaming on the old software. But like I said earlier on, like much prefer the game to be running fine than the webcam. The webcam isn't as important as what I'm building.
As well, because I told you, didn't I? I couldn't get it working on Tuesday.
We did mention this to Nathan earlier on. It wasn't plugged in.
Oh.
I unplugged it because Sarah had her work to do. I unplugged it so she could put her hard drive in. But I forgot to tell you to plug it back in again.
Oh.
That's why it wasn't showing up. But I fixed it by plugging it back in.
Okay.
It should be working for next week. It was kind of my fault. I should have told you to plug it back in. You wouldn't get that with the Xbox Series X, where it would just kind of hang there after you've already dismissed it. There we go. I'm gonna on my next paycheck. I'm gonna buy a game for the PlayStation because at the moment I've only got one game there that I play regularly. All the other ones, either I have to sign in as Ash to no, I have to have Ash share his console so I can play them, or in the case of WWE 2K25, can't play them because they're forcing me to buy the new one. And if you don't want to buy the new one, you have to pay the game basically, pay for the game again just to play it again. It's like it's not worth it. I'm a bit annoyed because I had a plan for that game for a video, and now I'm gonna have to wait. I think we should get EP to play Blockbuster. It'll be frustrating because like half the films you have no idea. Okay, maybe I'm overgeneralizing there. Like he'll probably hear he'll probably have heard the titles of films. Probably won't be able to tell you a quote from the film, but he probably has heard of it. Oh my god, how did I get it wrong so quickly? True that, says EP. We do have Cards Against Disney though, so we could relive the old days, EP. And Joking Hazard. And without Judith there, one of us might have a chance to win. But you know, Andy's also there, and Andy's quite good with Cards Against Humanity as well. So you might have to run for your money there. Might give you a run for your money. Sorry, not run for your money. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh my god, that was a bit too aggressive there. Okay, this one I might have to leave the pattern because obviously the window crashes into it. I have to leave that pattern for this particular part of the building. I might change that for the foyer bit as well, but we'll come back to that. Edit it later. Oh no, so not Andy, she'll ban me. You can't ban you from real life. You'd find a way. He's very adaptive, that Andy. Ta-da! Okay, so the top layer's on. Let's have a look. A walk around. I'm definitely going to need to put something like a slab over the top of these tall windows as well, so they don't kind of like fade into the background. And kind of match these ones as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the tall windows and put a layer of slab over the top of them to kind of bring them out a little bit. To kind of, because at the moment they're kind of fading into the background a little bit. They don't look like separate entities at the moment. So I'm just going to add that on to add a little bit of detail on there. Like that. That looks better. Definitely looks better, that does. And I'll also, just to kind of make sure it matches a little bit more, add a slab on either side of that. Now that looks a lot better. I do like that. It kind of all kind of matches together then. I'm going to leave these ones at the front as they are. I feel like if I put a slab on the top of it, it's not going to look right. I might put them on these ones though. like that, but the ones on the other side. Mm. I'll trial it out and see if I like it. Actually, you know what? Forget what I said. I like that more. You're banned from life, she says, as she bludgeons me with a warhammer. Yeah, do not anger. Do not anger Andy. You know where all the sharp things are held. You know where all the sharp things are. And also, it's a really shitty thing to do. Ah. Something like this more. Makes the windows look a bit more uniform now, rather than just every window slightly different. I do like that. She did come across as genuinely wanting to see me, but perhaps that was just a ploy so she could be within better distance. I can just see it now. We're just having a lovely time at the birthday, and I just hear like sounds of like people gasping for air, and it's EP, and Hannah's just there trying to strangle him. I'm like, oh great, I'd love to see you having a great time, and then just move on. Do I want to put a block down here? Maybe. I don't hate that. That's fine. I like this. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's working. Okay, let's sort out the boardroom ones as well, which is slightly different colour. We've got a purple slab, which I'm going to replace the shelf with. And we need a black slab as well to replace the... well, to put above the boardroom as well. I immediately love how that looks. Perfect. Perfectamundo. Okay. The same with this one. Yeah, that's right. Go. I like that. I like that a lot. That's perfect. Wonderful. I think I've done it. I do think I've done it. Okay, so the windows are in. Drop this, drop that, drop that, drop that. Windows are in. I just need to think about where the pillars are going to go now. If they're going anywhere at all. I don't think I'll put the pillars on the diagonal bits because that's just going to be too complicated to work around. Might end up just being on the long bit over there. I think I will replace the toilet block windows with some stairs. It doesn't look so blocky around the windows. Can't do that with this one though, unfortunately. Same for that one, really. So I will just do it on the underside as well. Can't do for that side either, or that one. I'll do it for this bit. Kind of like the bow of a ship there. It would be like a murder mystery. Who killed EP? Ash or Andy? Yes. What I've also started working on as well, because I know we've got another couple of floors to put in first before this build will be finished. We're averaging it out, so every floor seems to be about 4 streams long. So I think probably next week we'll start the first floor. Keep getting confused between American and English. We'll get started on the first floor properly next week. But every floor seems to be taking about 4 streams. So this has probably got, if I'm being realistic, probably we're on part 10 now. Probably between like 5 more streams, 6 more streams to finish it off. Because once the first floor is done, I'm going to repeat that a couple of times as the other floors, rather than to sit through that again and again and again, doing the same thing. I'll do one floor of it, then copy that up to multiple floors. And then I will do another stream, which will be the top floor, which will be like the penthouse suite, the like a mayor's office kind of thing, but on the top level. And I think that will be the last bit we do. I think we've probably got realistically 6, maybe more than that, streams left to go for this building. Once that's done, then I will put a vote out for what the next building is going to be. And hopefully it won't take 10 streams to build. Are you still here, babe? I think he is. Might have to see him off soon. So, I've got the mangrove log even. I'm definitely going to use it for this entrance bit, I think. Like so. Well, there. And then this can go over here. Like that for now. Get rid of the cherry grove from the top of the entrance. I think I'm going to replace this around the windows with the same stripped mangrove block. thought you were still here. You want me to see you off? Okay, 1 second, guys. Be back very shortly. All right, don't panic. I'm back. Hello, Daniel. Sorry I'm late. We had a pen and paper session. Absolutely fine. Do not apologise. D&D always takes priority. Unless someone's dying, in which case that obviously takes more priority than that. How did it go? Are you the player or are you the GM? Well, we've got a lot of progress done so far. We've done the exterior walls. That's mostly what we've done today, is exterior walls. I've almost finished the front. I'm just going to do the lift on the back, and then the exterior walls will be done. And then we can make a start on finishing off the foyer. I think most of that's done, actually. And we can make a start on the first floor once that's been done. Welcome back, Finn. Thank you. I had to go put a dressing gown on because it suddenly got very, very cold in here. Whereas I quickly put the heating on. It's that kind of weird weather where it's like, it's supposedly supposed to be in the teens in terms of temperature, but it feels like it's still in the singles. Do people like the fact that I put stripped mangrove there and the planks there, or should I change it out for something else? I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now, and I might change it later on. So what I also need to do is the lift from the other side. I want to have like a glass elevator on the other side, looking out into the rest of the city. I'm assuming this won't be all mountain once this is completed. There'll be other buildings there. But yeah, I get you. You're probably getting snow again tomorrow. We've had hail already. I was in one of my workmates' offices when the wind came. We had to shut the window, and as we were shutting the window, a bit of a hailstone came in and landed in our lap. So, been a busy one. Yes, as I was mentioning before I got straight with Ash, I'm going to buy another game on payday, which will be Friday, for the PlayStation. Because at the moment, I've only got one game on there that's mine. The rest of them are Ash's, or in the case of WWE 2K25, I can't play it unless I pay for the premium prescription of PS Plus, which I'm not doing for one game, which is basically the same price as buying the game again. So I'm going to buy Gran Turismo 7 on Friday or something like that. Because I've got racing games, but they're all on the Xbox. They're not on the PlayStation at all. So I'm going to buy that for that. I've not played a Gran Turismo game since Turismo 3, which was on the PS2. I've not played 4, I've not played 5, and I've not played 6. So I'm going to be jumping straight from 3 to 7. So I don't know if it's going to be any good. My brother-in-law has a high-tech driving seat controller attachment thing. So it's like you're actually in a proper driving seat with the pedals and the steering wheel and the cockpit thing. And he let me play with that last time I was over at Ash's mum's house. And that has convinced me to buy the game now. Not the Ethereal, because that's like grand. But the game, yeah. I think I'm going to use black for this one. I'll go with the colour scheme, but as a different shade. I'll go with polished blackstone. That's the point as well. When I'm building the next layer of the lift, I'm going to have to work out where the floor is, so I can then place the lift in there as well. That'll be awkward. We shall see. We're going to put a layer of blackstone slabs around the centre bit as well to make it look more like it's a section of the lift that's kind of separate with everything else. And everything else even. Like so. Like that, maybe. That makes more sense. Copy that from the bottom side as well. Ta-da! And there you go. Got the lift at the back as well. I'm thinking maybe replace this with cherry wood. Make the entrance stand out from the rest of the building walls. I'm back. Eric needed some attention. Absolutely fine. Eric is a sweetie. I'll let you off. I'm thinking for the entrance bit, I'm just going to extend the cherry wood out a bit longer. Like so. This looks a bit separate to the rest of the building. Like that, you see. Now I have to work out where the floor's going to be because of the lift. There. Work out the back and then work out back to front. To work that out. I think I might have to work that out off stream because I'm kind of working out where the floor starts in relation to the lift as well. That's the top of the lift. I want to make the bottom of the lift obviously the one above it. Might make things a bit awkward. Then the floor starts at this level, but then the stairwell stops off here, which is I think 3 blocks below it. So if I move this 3 blocks higher, then it's going to be facing out the front here. So I basically need to make that staircase a little bit higher so that the floor all matches. If the floor is there, then if the floor starts here, the lift, then it means that there's going to be a gap of like 3 blocks where nothing is happening, where there's nothing built. Only issue I've got. Let's just work out where the lift bottom is, and then that will dictate where the floor is. To be fair, when Eric wants attention, I don't get my choice. He takes me where he wants to go, sits and waits for me to give him what he wants. It's like, I'm waiting. The staff in this house. Yeah, because in the car park level, you've got a bit of a gap before it goes to the floor above it. I don't think I'll be able to carry that on every single floor, otherwise the roof will be this high every single floor. And that'll be too high. I think I basically just need to copy the lift up to the top, basically. And basically do another level. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. Okay, so there'll be a floor, same level as that one. And the actual wall will be above it. like so. This is confusing. And then the fifth one is sandstone block. Okay. And then let's do the doorway, which is in iron block, I think. Is it iron or is it stone? Iron. Once this is on, I'll feel a bit more confident about it. Okay, iron door on. And then we just slab over the top of it. Like there's like a guard above the gate. There. There. This confuses me a little bit. Sorry, I'm not speaking very much at the moment. I'm kind of focusing at the moment. Quite complicated, this lift shaft. Missing here. I'm trying to think what it is. Or should I bring it down one, do you think? That might be the issue. It's a bit too high. I think I might have put the window too low. Not going to be perfectly every 3 lines on this one. I'll have to move that line up a little bit so that it matches. Can I hide that by doing this? Not that. I've hit it. I am a genius. How dare you ignore us? There's a stocks for thee. Oh, please forgive me. I think these pillars are going to be a little bit higher because obviously this room is going to be open. It's not going to be covered like the rest of the floors are. Maybe I can work around that fact that this is at a different level to this by maybe making the atrium a bit higher than everything else. You have to step up to it. That might fix that issue. What I will do before I put the floor in is I might bring the walls back up again so that they are level with the floor. Then I can work out where to put the rest of the floor, basically. So let's bring the mangrove back. Not the planks though. Let's use the stripped one. Like so. Also, as well, I don't think the ensuite is going to have a second floor to it, so that can be cut off because there'll be a roof added to that bit. Remember that when I go round it, not to include it. There won't be another floor on this part of the building. It's going to go straight up, so ignore that bit. Like so. I think I'm doing one more line as well to make it up to that floor. Yes. So I'm going to go back to the cherry for that bit. Ooh. Keep my eyes open now. I might call it soon. Just to let everyone know. I'm getting the tired's. Almost done. There you go, last little bit. So I think I won't do that tonight because I'm getting a bit tired. In the middle bit between the two cherry blocks, I might put some crenellations in there to kind of make it look a bit more exciting than just a flat wall. But I might do that off stream or beginning of next stream for that one. I just need to work out where the flooring is going to go. So the lift is going to dictate where the floor is going to go on this floor. Yeah. But what is it going to be of? I don't know yet. So I'm just going to grab a random block to be a standing floor for now. And that's going to be... We'll go jungle planks. It's the most bland looking block at the moment, so I can replace that later on. Yeah, get some sleep. Sounds like you need it after today. I do, EP, I really do. But let's just quickly put the floor in for the atrium bit, so I can mock that out. Obviously, this might get changed later on. It's just a placeholder. Oh, yeah, we need to also keep that clear as well. The stairwell. There you go. So that should be the outer edge of this floor over the atrium. The rest of it I'll fill in. I might do that off stream. Just fill in the rest of the floor for now. Obviously, we need to keep this bit clear, that bit clear, and then this bit over here clear, as well as the atrium. I'll do that off stream because that might be a bit boring to watch now. And then we'll start, season 2 then. We'll start the next floor next week, next stream, on Wednesday. Unless anything crazy happens. I'm not planning for anything crazy to happen. But yeah, so let me know on Discord. Why would you let me know? Hang on. Join us on Discord, and if you like the stream tonight, give it a like. Just you don't have to do anything else, just give it a like. And we'll be back again on Wednesday for more Yorcity. I don't know if I'll stream again this week. I might not have the time for it now, but I'm glad to everyone that joined us today. I'm very tired now. I'm barely forming words. So I will see you again next week, and I'll see you in the Discord in the meantime. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you again next week. Bye.